good morning everyone. Today we will
see about the unit 2 chapter 4. Okay, this is the last chapter from unit 2. Okay, so the name of this chapter is nutrition during pregnancy and lactation. So in the time of pregnancy and lactation for female, which type of nutrition is necessary and what problem comes in this time, now we will see. So at first we will see about the nutrition during pregnancy. So a normal full term pregnancy is about 40 weeks and can range from 37 to 42 weeks. Means normal full term pregnancy is about 40 weeks and it can range from 37 to 40 weeks also. It is divided into three trimesters. Okay, each trimester lasts between 12 and 14 weeks or about 3 months. So there are three trimesters in the pregnancy period. It lasts between 12 and 14 weeks or about 3 months. Okay, so each trimester comes with its own specific hormonal and physiological changes. Means in each trimester there is different types of hormonal and physiological changes. Being aware of the ways that growing baby is affecting a woman's body will assist to better prepare for these changes as they happen. Means if these type of changes comes within the proper timing and proper hormonal secretion will be there, then it is very good condition for the baby. Okay, the
Excuse
first
me, ma'am.
trimester lasts from the first yes.
Ma'am, trimester means what?
Trimester means just see what I had told. It lasts for 12 to 13, 12 and 14 weeks. Means just think total term of pregnancy, that is 40 weeks. If we will divide it into 3, then 12 to 14 weeks are there. So each this months or each these weeks from 12 to 14, just think 40 weeks we have divided into 3. So 12 or 14 weeks come. So there are 3 trimesters in between this 40 weeks. So this is the trimester. Now understood? As
Yes,
we
ma'am,
have
got it.
divided into 3 parts, that's why it is trimester and 3 trimesters are there. Okay. So the first trimester lasts from the first through the 13th week of pregnancy. So the first trimester lasts. So the timing of the first trimester, that is from the first week to 13th week of the pregnancy. Although a woman may not look pregnant during the first trimester, means by seeing the female, you can't understand that she is pregnant in the first trimester. But the body is going through massive changes as it accommodates a growing baby. Means when the baby is growing, the change in her body will show. In the first few weeks following conception, hormone level change significantly. Means in these first few weeks, the hormonal level changes. The uterus begins to start the growth of the placenta and the fetus. The body adds to its blood supply to carry oxygen and nutrients to the developing baby. Means in this time, in the first trimester, the uterus begins to support the growth of the placenta and the fetus. Means the growth will be seen. The body adds to its blood supply to carry oxygen and nutrients to the developing baby. Means they will supply this oxygen and nutrients to the baby. And the heart rate increases. The first trimester is vital for the development of baby. Means this first trimester is very vital for the baby. The baby will develop all of its organs by the end of the 3rd month. When 3rd month will be completed from the beginning, so development of all its organ will be ended. So this is a crucial time. So that's why the first trimester is very important. If there will be any lagging, then all the body parts will not be developed properly. Okay, it is important to maintain a healthy diet. In this first trimester, the healthy diet should be maintained. Next, we will see about the second trimester. So second trimester, that is between 13 to 27 weeks of the pregnancy. It is the most comfortable period of time for the majority of the pregnant women. Most of the early pregnancy symptoms will gradually disappear. Means early pregnancy symptoms will be disappeared in that time. And abdomen will start to look pregnant. as the uterus will grow rapidly in the size, means the uterus is growing rapidly. So if you will see that female, you can understand that she is pregnant. While the discomfort of early pregnancy should ease off, there are a few new symptoms. Means in the first trimester, the female can understand, female can understand about the some problem, and after the first trimester, these problems gone, new symptoms will come. Okay, common complaint include leg cramps and heartburn. These are the common. Woman might feel more hungry and her weight will increase and back ache may become evident. Means back pain will come. So here main symptom in the second trimester, the main symptom is leg cramp, heartburn. They can feel hungry and they will increase their weight and their back pain will be started. So this was about the second trimester. Now see the third trimester. The third trimester lasts from the 28th week through the birth of your baby. Okay, means before the birth of the baby, before 28th week from the birth of your baby, that is third trimester. During the third and final trimester of pregnancy, a baby's eyes, bones, organs, brain, and lungs are developing, and the nutritional needs are increasing. So as the baby is growing, her minute body parts, that is eyes, bones, organs, brain, and lungs, all are developing. So the nutritional needs are increasing in that time. In addition to a baby's rapid growth, a woman's body is preparing to give birth. Means in this time, woman's body is also preparing to give the birth. A healthy diet packed with nutritious foods is just as important now as it was during the first two trimesters of pregnancy. Okay? A balanced diet is important in promoting the growth and development of the fetus and safeguarding the health of the mother. So, why balanced diet is important in that time? Balanced diet is important to promote the growth and development of the fetus and to guard the health of the mother also. That's why proper healthy diet should be taken. Recommended dietary allowance, that is RDA, for a pregnant woman, that is ICM, according to the ICMR 2010, are given below. Means a chart is given below which should be followed in this time. So nutritional requirement in pregnancy given below. See, energy should be 1900 plus 35, that means 2250 kilocalorie per day. This much energy should be taken. Protein, 78 gram of protein should be taken. Fat, 30 gram per day. Calcium, 1200 mg per day. Iron, 35 mg per day. Zinc, 12 mg per day. Vitamin C, 60 mg per day. And folate, that is 500 mg per day. Folate means that is folic acid. Okay, that is needed for the growth of the blood. Next, meeting nutritional requirement. How the nutritional requirement will meet. So, a diet throughout the life cycle help woman to begin pregnancy without deficiency and meet increased demands of nutrients. Means a diet throughout the lifestyle, means whatever the woman had taken throughout their lifestyle, that will help the woman to begin the pregnancy without deficiencies. Means from the childhood, if that female have taken a proper balanced diet, there was not any problem. So the beginning of pregnancy will be without deficiency and they will meet increased demand of nutrients. Fortified foods with iron, iodine, folic acid or vitamin A may be promoted through nutrition counseling and mass media wherever available and affordable. Means so a fortified food, that means the food where the minerals are present with iron, iodine, folic acid or vitamin. Vitamin A may be promoted through nutrition counseling and mass media wherever available and affordable. Nutrition counseling should be done not only to pregnant women but also to their husband and other members also. Okay. So we have to check that all the nutrients are nutrients which are going to the mother, to the pregnant woman, that are sufficient or not. So nutritional counseling should be done not only to the pregnant woman but also to their husband also. Okay. See, next, dietary diversification can be promoted by promoting kitchen gardening so as to make foods available and affordable wherever feasible. Means in the diet chart, there should be dietary diversification. It can be promoted by promoting the kitchen gardening. Means the kitchen should be proper. Means you have to keep all the types of food in your kitchen. Okay, you have to preserve it. So as to make foods available, means all types of food should be available in the kitchen, because a pregnant woman cannot go every time to the market to take any food. So the kitchen gardening is very important. Kitchen gardening means not the plant should be kept in the kitchen. Means all the types of food, where whatever is necessary for that mother, that should be present in the kitchen. Okay. Motivate women and their families to take small steps to improve maternal diet. Means motivate women means motivate the women and their families also to take small steps to improve the maternal diet. That means to just increase the diet very slowly. Dietary diversification can be implemented by following food groups recommendation as given in table 1. See, means this table, as we have seen, nutrients which are required in the time of pregnancy. So this diet should be followed. For calculation of nutritional requirements, reference woman is aged between 18 to 29 years. That is the age. That is the age that is sufficient for the for becoming a mother. Non-pregnant and non-lactating, that is NPNL, and weighs about 55 kg with a height of 1.61 m, and a body mass index should be of 21.2, is free from a disease and physically fit for active work. That means, just see, dietary diversification can be implemented by following food groups in the table 1. And for calculation of nutritional requirement, reference woman is age. Means the woman who is going to give birth, her age should be 18 to 29 years. Non-pregnant, non-lactating, and weight should be 55 kg with a height of 1.61 meter and a body mass index that is 21.2. If these all things maintain, then it is now we can say that it is free from disease and physically fit for active work. Okay. Next, we will see the dietary guidelines. So, which guidelines should be given to the female? So, small and frequent feeding should be taken. Means after interval, after a regular interval, they should take some foods. Fasting or missing meal should be avoided. Means fasting should not be done by her. Any meal should not be missed. Consumption of eggs and other non-vegetarian foods help in meeting increased protein requirement. Means whatever protein requirements are needed for the baby, eggs and other non-vegetarian foods can help. More fiber should be included in the diet to prevent constipation, which is a common problem during pregnancy. Means more fiber-rich food should be taken. 5 to 6 serving of fruits and vegetables should be included in the daily diet. Means 5 to 6 serving of foods. Means 5 to 6 times food and vegetables should be taken. Okay. Diet should be rich in calcium to prevent osteomalacia. Osteomalacia means bones problem. Means the baby who will come, who will born, for him or her, there should be a bones problem. It can be very weak. It will not be strong if mother will not take proper amount of calcium. Okay, so calcium supplements may also be taken. A minimum of 3 glasses of milk should be taken per day. Okay. Next, see, iron. Iron-rich food should be taken to prevent anemia. Anemia means the blood-related problem, that is deficiency of hemoglobin or red blood corpuscles in deficiency of hemoglobin in the red blood corpuscle, so which is known as anemia. So if mother will not take iron rich food, then anemia can come to the baby and to the mother also. And to build up iron stores in the fetal body, means inside the fetus iron should be present. So iron supplements may be taken, means iron tablets mother can take. Heme iron is better absorbed. Inclusion of green leafy vegetable ensures minerals like calcium and iron, means if mother will take green leafy vegetables, it is ensured that minerals like calcium and iron is going inside their body. Okay, so diet should contain optimum amount of sodium. In case of edema or hypertension, sodium is restricted, means these two are the disease when sodium is not present there. So proper amount of sodium should be present in the diet. Next, raw fruits and vegetables are to be included in the diet to meet vitamin C and fiber requirement. So for vitamin C and fiber requirement, raw fruits and vegetables are needed in the diet. Plenty of water should be taken to keep the bowels regular, means to make the urination very proper, to make the process of urination very proper, the mother should take plenty of water. Okay, fatty rich foods, fried foods, excessive seasoning, strongly flavored vegetables may be restricted in case of nausea or gastric distress, means if mother is feeling in nausea or vomiting or gastric problem is there, then fatty foods, fried foods, excessive seasoning, strongly flavored vegetables, these should be restricted. Okay, too much of coffee or tea should not be taken. The diet should include fish, flaxseed, and soybean to meet the requirement of omega-3 fatty acids. Okay, so the diet should include fish, flaxseed, and soybean. This should be present in the diet to meet the requirement of fatty acid. So fluids should be taken between meals rather than along with the meals. So fluids like juice, this type of fluid should be taken between the meals. Adequate amount of calories should be taken so that enough fat is deposited during pregnancy, which is required for the lactation. Okay, so adequate amount of calories should be taken so that enough fat is deposited in the time of lactation. Okay. Next, sugar substitute should be used in moderation during pregnancy as the fetus is inconclusive. Weight reduction regimens are not recommended, means the female, those who are giving birth, so for them weight reduction tablets or anything should not be taken in that time. Okay, because the defects of ketosis on the fetus, means if they will take the weight reduction tablet or any supplements, so it will affect the baby inside the fetus. Okay, so next, see, special consideration in pregnancy, means whatever problems are coming in the time of pregnancy to mother. See, nausea. What is nausea? Nausea during pregnancy is typically one of the most experienced and complained about symptom that women report. Means for most of the women, this problem comes in that time. Up to 70% of expectant mothers experience nausea at some point during early pregnancy. To help prevent and treat nausea during pregnancy, try avoiding foods and smells that trigger your nausea. Means that type of food should not be should not bring or should avoid that type of foods which smells bad, so that it will trigger the nausea. Eating smaller meals more frequently throughout the day instead of 3 big meals, means don't take only 3 big meals, just divide your food habit and try to take smaller meals frequently throughout the day. Means after 1 hour of interval or after 2 hours of interval, try to take the food. Okay, drinking less water or fluid with your meals and instead drink them between meals. Okay, so drinking less water or fluids with your meals means whenever you are taking your meals, in that time take less fluids and drink them between meals. But just think that you have taken breakfast and lunch. In between the breakfast and lunch, you should take the fluids or water. Don't take that with the meals whenever you are taking a heavy meal. Eating drier, plain food such as white rice, dry toast, or a plain baked potato instead of richer, creamier foods, sniffing ginger or lemons, or drinking ginger or lemonade, which can help ease. Means eating take dry fruits, plain food, toast plain baked potato instead of spicy. It's just a flat types of food should be taken in that time to prevent the nausea. Next is vomiting. So vomiting during pregnancy is a common occurrence with as many as 60 to 70% of pregnant women experiencing vomiting. The specific cause of vomiting during pregnancy is not known. Means the specific cause, means why this vomiting are coming, why they feel this type of problem, this is not known. The fluctuation in hormone levels during pregnancy could be one contributing factor. As we have seen that in that time there will be fluctuation of hormone level. Sometimes it increase, sometimes it reduced. So fluctuation is there. That's why vomiting can come. So it is the main factor. Hormones slow down digestion, which could trigger heartburn, indigestion, or acid reflux, which are all considered possible symptoms of pregnancy and potential triggers of vomiting during pregnancy. So, hormone slow down is in some time the hormone secretion had reduced. So, it can slow down the digestion, which could trigger the heartburn or indigestion problem come. So, vomiting can come in that time. Okay. Next, we will see what is heartburn. What problem comes for this? In early pregnancy, the body produces large amount of hormone, that is progesterone, which tend to relax smooth muscle tissue throughout your body, including those in gastrointestinal or GI tract. Means in the early pregnancy, one hormone is produced, that is progesterone. Okay, large amount of hormone progesterone is produced, and it tends to relax all the smooth muscle tissue throughout your body. So it including your gastrointestinal tract. So as a result, food sometimes move more slowly through your system and resulting in indigestion. So as the smooth muscle tissues relaxed inside your gastrointestinal tract, that's why the digestion process become unbalanced. That's why it moves, the food sometimes moves slowly through your system and resulting in digestion. And from that bloated gashy feeling to heartburn, means whenever we are feeling gashy, that we can feel that some problem in our heart. So to avoid heartburn, do not eat and drink food at the same time. Means don't take food and drinks at the same time. Avoid foods triggering heartburn. Okay, means don't take that type of food which can cause the heartburn, which can cause indigestion. Okay. Next is constipation. So what is constipation? Constipation occurs when there is abdominal pain or discomfort, difficult and infrequent bowel movement, and the passage of hard stools. Means there is some problem that is abdominal pain, discomfort, difficult and infrequent bowel movement, and the passage of hard stools. Unfortunately, constipation affects approximately half of all women at some point during their pregnancy. This is common. To prevent constipation, consume a high fiber diet containing whole grains, legumes, fruits, vegetables, fluid, etc. So, to prevent this constipation, what should you take? You should take a high fiber diet. That means whole grains, legumes, fruits, vegetables, or fluids. So, there can be MCQ. As you know that this term, the MCQs will come. So, for this portion, any MCQ can come that to prevent the constipation in the pregnant woman, what type of food should be taken? So there can be vitamin, protein, minerals, and fiber diet. So you should take on the fiber diet. Okay. Next, see, here is a sample meal plan for a day given for your reference. That means for the pregnant woman, what type of meal plan should be there? It is given here. See, in the early morning, tea or homemade snack should be taken. In the time of breakfast, milk, vegetable, poha, or fruit should be taken. In the mid-morning, this fruit. In the lunch, salad, roti or rice, moong dal, bottled gourd, curd. Just for a simple person like us, we are taking only breakfast and lunch. But for the pregnant woman, in the early morning there should be a meal. In the breakfast, after that mid-morning, then lunch. So frequent times of food they should take. Next, evening tea. So tea, vegetable upma or nuts. In the dinner timing, salad, roti or rice, mixed dal, matar paneer, this type of thing they can take. In the bedtime, they should drink milk. Okay, that will help to increase the calcium level for the baby. Understood? So this was about the nutrition during pregnancy. Next, we will see the nutrition during lactation. So what is lactation? I want to tell you first. Means after the birth of the baby will just take their mother's milk. That period is known as lactation. Okay. So next, see nutrition during lactation. So a woman's nutritional requirement are maximum during lactation. Why? The woman's nutritional requirement are maximum during the lactation. Why? Because in that timing, the baby is taking milk from the mother. So nutrients should be present inside the woman so that for them, means for mother, the nutritional requirement should be fulfilled, and for the baby also, because baby is taking the milk from their mother. So it is means a woman's nutritional requirement are maximum during lactation compared to any other age group. Hence, the diet should be balanced and meet the requirement. Means we should arrange some balanced diet and which can meet the requirement. Lactating or breastfeeding mothers generally need more calories to meet their nutritional needs of both baby and mother and breast milk production, as I had told. So in this lactation timing, the nutrients should be like that. The mother can take the nutrients, and also for the baby, means the nutrients should be present for both baby and mother also, and it can fulfill the breast milk production also. So 450 to 500 kilocalories additional kilocalories, that is additional calorie per day is recommended for well nourished breastfeeding mothers. So 450 to 500 kilocalorie additional calorie per day is recommended, compared with the amount they were consuming before pregnancy, approximately 2300 to 2500 kilocalorie per day for breastfeeding women versus 1800 to 2000 kilocalorie per day for moderately active or non-pregnant women who are not breastfeeding. Means for normal women, the calorie should be 1800 to 2000 kilocalorie per day. But for the breastfeeding woman, it should be 2300 to 2500 kilocalorie per day. Okay, understood? In addition to providing nutrients, breast milk has several special components such as growth factor, enzyme, hormone, anti-infective factors. Means inside the breast milk, these type of components should be present. The amount exclusive breastfeeding, EBF. So what is the full form of EBF? Exclusive breastfeeding. This ensures safe nutrition to the infant. Means if the diet or the nutrients which are present inside the breast milk, this is exclusive, that will ensure that the baby is safe. The baby is taking safe nutrition, and all around the development it will also help. An average Indian woman secretes about 750 ml of milk per day. Means an average Indian woman can secrete 750 ml of milk per day during the first 6 months, and 600 ml per day subsequently up to 1 year. Means from the first day to 6 months after giving birth, the baby, woman can secrete about 750 ml of milk per day and 600 ml per day subsequently up to 1 year. Why this amount of milk become reduced? Because after 6 months babies start eating different types of foods, like some liquid foods, some smashed foods, smashed fruits or vegetables, this type. That's why in that timing the breast milk is necessary but not fully necessary. Okay. Mother infant contact should be established as early as possible, immediate after birth. Means after giving birth the mother and child should contact should be established by permitting the infant to suck at the breast. Means after giving birth the child have to put to the mother to suck the breast milk. Mothers can breastfeed from as early as 30 minutes after delivery. Means after delivery of the child, mothers can feed after 30 minutes the delivery. Colostrum. What is colostrum? This is very important thing. Colostrum should be made available to the infant immediately after birth. Colostrum is the yellow fluid that is necessary for the infant. It is very healthy and all the nutrients are present here. So after 30 minutes of the birth, the infant should take this colostrum from their mother. Feeding honey, glucose, water or dilute milk formula before lactation should be avoided, and the infant, means glucose, water, dilute milk should be avoided for the lactating infants. Okay. Should be allowed to suck, which help in establishing lactation. Means just allow them to suck the breast milk. Colostrum should not be discarded. Colostrum should not be discarded as is sometimes practiced. Means it is very essential for the baby. Okay, so it should not be discarded. Weight gain beyond that desired for baby size should be avoided. Means weight gain beyond the desire means whatever weight should be present for that baby according to their age. If it exceeds, so it should be avoided. When the baby is weaned, the mother must reduce her food intake in order that obesity may be avoided. Means if any mother can see that her baby is becoming a heavy weight, so nutrients requirement should be managed so that obesity can be avoided. Okay. Next we will see a table about the nutritional requirement in lactation. So which type of nutrition is required for the lactation? Now we will see. For 0 to 6 months, for 0 to 6 months, energy should be 2500 kilocalorie per day. Protein should be taken 74 gram per day. Fat should be taken 30 gram per day. Calcium 1200 mg per day. Iron 21 mg per day. Zinc 12 mg. Vitamin C 80 mg per day. Folate 300 μg per day. Okay, that means a little bit. From 6 to 12 months, the energy should be 2420 kilocalorie per day. Protein 68, fat 30, calcium 1200 mg per day, iron 21 mg per day, zinc 12 mg per day, vitamin C 80 mg per day, and folate 300 μg per day. Okay, so this is the nutritional requirement in the lactation timing. After that, just see a sample meal plan is given for this time. So in the early morning, tea and homemade snacks should be taken by the mother. After that, for breakfast, milk, porridge, nuts or dates they can take. In the mid morning, they should take seasonal fruits. In the time of lunch, vegetable raita should be taken in the time of lunch. In the evening, tea or milk or poshtik laddu they can take. In the time of dinner, salad, roti or rice, dal or sambar, bottle gourd, sweet dish should be taken. So this is a sample meal plan, and it should be taken for the lactating mother. So from this chapter, what you have understood from this chapter, we can say that in this chapter we have read what type of nutrition is needed for the pregnant woman, and we can suggest if any pregnant woman is present in our house or in our neighborhood, we can give some suggestion for them. Okay, and after giving birth the baby, what type of food should be taken for the mother, and what type of things should be given to the baby, we can give a suggestion to them. So for this type of reason, we should read the nutrition subject. If we will not read this subject, these type of things we cannot understand. Only reading the biology, you can't understand about this nutrition, because this much area is not there for the biology. So just for this type of reason, for any diet plan, diet chart, what type of nutrition is required, we should read the nutrients. Now everyone tell me that you have understood this chapter or not.
Yes, ma'am. Understood.
Okay, so one more thing I want to say, that is on the previous day we have seen about the unit 2 chapter 3. Today we have completed unit 2 chapter 4. Okay, so unit 2 here completed.